Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Thank you for the support on all the last videos. Our last one, we graded some transfers and went over some transfer rumors that are going on in the football world. But today we got a big one brewing. Messi is looking to stay at Barca. What's your thoughts on this one, Nick?
I'm in disbelief, to be honest with you. I didn't see it coming. Well, I kind of did with the 700 million release clause, but I didn't really think Barca would demand that. I thought they would be okay with 150 million euros to 200 million. But now
Yeah.
Messi doesn't want to go into a legal process with the Barca board and also a La Liga, so I can understand why he's staying, but I just don't agree with the fact why he's staying, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, see, I respect Messi on his decision not to go into a legal fucking battle with the club, he's been with forever.
Yeah,
Just makes him look better. It's still making Barca look like it's run really poorly. It's really run like shite at the moment.
they really are.
Um, it's really bad. I thought too he was gonna be sold at the 150 mark, maybe even up to 180. But I like that he's staying. I don't like how it was handled. I don't like that he was lied to.
Yeah,
I
me neither.
don't like that they said it was his decision, and then he said, "Oh, it's my decision. My decision is to leave." Then they said, "No, we're gonna make it impossible for any team to buy you,
Yeah. Al-
practically making it impossible for him to leave the club."
Also, he took a lot of shots at the president, saying that the club is run horribly. He called him a disaster of a president. He said there's no project, that Barca just signed players to fill gaps and they're not building long term. And he pretty much described the environment as a toxic soccer environment and that they have no future once he leaves. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, once you take Messi out of this squad, I really don't see them doing much in Europe, let alone the league at all. Because who are you going to bring in that can replace Messi? You got a Dembele you can put in his position. It's not even close to the skill that Messi
And
has.
he always gets hurt too.
Yeah, and he's always injured. I guess you have Ansu Fati, who made his first appearance for Spain this weekend.
Yeah, he'll be a stud, but I think it's too early to put the pressure on him.
And yeah, but like I don't know who out there you replace him with. This team, I mean, I hope Messi was mad about the whole deal with Arthur for Pjanic. I hope he was mad about that because as a Barca fan, I would be mad about it.
Yeah,
I don't want Pjanic over Arthur.
that deal showcases what he's talking about, that the club just signs people to fit in gaps instead of building
Perfectly.
a project. Because Arthur's young, he has potential to grow, but the club gave up on him and bought Pjanic, who's nearing his 30s or he's in his 30s, who's going to be there for a season or two, play good, and then they'll have to move him on. So Messi's
Yeah.
like 100% correct with what he's saying, and it should open the eyes of a lot of Barca fans to vote for a better president next time their re-election comes up.
This whole situation or this whole transfer window in general is making Barca really look bad, like really bad.
Yeah,
I used to have respect for them. They're probably they're up there with one of the teams that I don't disrespect. Like there's teams I hate. I'm not gonna name them, but there's teams I hate. There's teams I don't respect. Barca was one of the ones I did respect. But now seeing all this come out the way that this whole Messi thing has gone down, I really can't respect the Barca board or anything about them at the moment.
yeah. On the soccer side of things, Barca is a legendary club, but I feel like the board, they just run horribly. And I feel like, actually, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's any way Messi will stay? Because now they're saying that he's going to leave for free next year because he's going to activate his clause in time. But do you see any chance of him staying?
Um, I don't see any reason why he would stay. I don't see any chance of him staying. He does have that clause in his
Yeah.
contract, and if he wants to leave now, I think there's a 99% chance he's going to activate that clause at the end of this season.
Uh,
It's just he's got to do it before August,
yes.
which also makes me think he said that he had his decision made up before they got pummeled by Bayern. Do you really think that's the case?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't buy that at all. I feel like that was the tipping point. I feel like if he really wanted to leave and he knew that he had a deadline in order to trigger that release clause, he would have done it before the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, not after they lose 8-2 to Bayern.
Also, imagine Barca win the Champions League. None of this would ever come out. He'd be
Yeah,
staying. He'd
dude.
be happy. He'd be chilling. He promised the fans a Champions League, and he hasn't delivered. And I think that's what's haunting him.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to look
he's
bad in front of the fans. He loves Barca. He's a Barca kid. He's a Barca fan deep down in his heart. He, I bet he goes home and thinks of the club as in a fan's perspective, and that's where his anger stems from, in my opinion, because he's unhappy as a player, unhappy as a fan, and that's why he wants to leave.
And then with that being said, do you think he plays this season with a chip on his shoulder? Or do you think he plays a little complacent and not as good as he usually does? What do you think?
Oh, that's a good question because I can see it going both ways. But personally, I would say he plays a little complacent. Just because there's a saying in soccer, an unhappy player is never a good player. This being said, Messi's talent will always keep him a good player, but I feel like that drive and that passion for the badge will be a little like unexistent, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how he performs this year. I'm definitely gonna be keeping some tabs on him. Um, also, also, um, how do you think this makes Barcelona look to football fans, around the world? How do you think this changes people's perspective on Barcelona?
I think a lot more people will realize that how bad they're run. They had all these players, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Piqué, Puyol, to hide the board from their incompetence. But now that these players are gone, it's coming out more. And now that Messi's the only one left, he can't really do everything by himself. So it's
Yeah,
making the club look bad. And I feel like more Barcelona fans are becoming just Messi fans, and they're
yeah,
leaving their loyalty to the club.
yeah. And then with all of this Messi drama coming out, what do you think this does for the rest of the transfer window for them and the future transfer windows coming up?
I feel like they either got to commit to Ansu Fati being the replacement to Messi, or they're gonna go out buy someone like a Dybala, try to bring back Neymar, someone to fill that void.
Yeah, yeah, no, but they're definitely gonna need someone who's they're gonna need a great winger. They're gonna just need a great player to even make half of the impact that Messi has made for them.
Yeah, they need a great player on the field, but they also need someone who's gonna bring in all that off the field money that Messi brought.
Yeah,
Messi's
he's
more
made the
than a
club so
player.
much money, so much money.
They just need like a unit of a player that can control the global aspect, the club aspect, the playing aspect, every aspect of the team.
And as a generational talent, it's tough to see him be treated this way by the club he's been with forever.
It really is.
It just really sucks to see Messi in this situation being as good as he is.
Yeah. He also mentioned how emotional his wife and kids got about it because they
Yeah.
all want to stay in Barcelona, but the way he's being treated, he doesn't want to stay, understandably. So
hmm
all this also created drama in his family, which is also really sad, and you just hate to see it.
Yeah, you really do. And speaking of Barcelona making moves, looks like Suarez is going to be off to Juventus. What do you think about that one, Nick?
This is a shocking one. I did not see it at all. I personally thought Suarez was going to go to Ajax, but I think maybe the funds were out of Ajax's reach for his salary. But I feel like Suarez being a replacement for Higuain will be a good thing. It'll be an improvement.
hmm
I don't think it'll be a long-term improvement, though. It'll be short-term for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I do think he'll have some chemistry with Ronaldo because Ronaldo does play good with another striker besides him who can hold up the ball and pass good and finish good.
Yep. It's gonna be like him back with Benzema, man.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't see the long-term longevity of the deal.
I do like this. Yes, I do not see any longevity. I mean, which is why I'm okay with Barca doing this. I think Barca doing this is them showing that they're taking a step in the right direction, that they know who isn't part of their future and who is, and they're trying to get younger and get more through the youth academies and everything. And I just feel like this is a decent step for Barcelona. I don't know how much they're going to get for him, but I think whatever they do get for him, it's not going to matter because they're not going to get
Yeah.
that much at all for Suarez, uh, if they get anything at all. But that's just crazy how a player who has been such an integral part of Barcelona gets told by the new coach that he isn't a part of their future or that he isn't a part of their squad anymore.
Yeah. Also, I have an interesting question for you. Do you think this pisses off Messi even more? Because him and Suarez have a really good relationship on and off the field.
I feel like this doesn't piss off Messi as much as people would think it does. I feel like because he said they're run horribly,
Yeah.
there's no project, there's no long-term thing going on by the board at Barcelona. And I feel like this kind of makes him think that, they're trying to start a project, They're
Yeah.
trying to get players out who aren't going to be there long term. And then hopefully but they can bring at least another player in this transfer window. And then hopefully next window, next window is going to be a big one for him. It's going to be a really big one for him. But they got to bring in. I'm surprised they didn't bring in a defender this year.
I'm
really
surprised
they didn't bring in any center backs.
They looked really weak in the back all season. I'm surprised they haven't addressed it.
They only really have 3 playable ones, and Umtiti's hurt, so I hope he comes back and plays as well as as good as he can.
Yeah.
Not as well as he has, but as good as he can.
I think this is really good for Griezmann, though, because he finally gets to play his natural position.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch that front 3 at Barcelona. It's just, I don't really expect him to have that great of a year,
Yeah. Who would you start in the front 3?
Well, it's kind of obvious, We got Dembele at the left. There's Griezmann at the striker, and then there's Messi running that right wing, And then you got people off the bench, such as Fati, and then you got Braithwaite off the bench, and then I guess you got Trincao. I don't know how to
Coutinho.
pronounce that. Yeah, and there's also Coutinho. So I think they're okay with depth in the front 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know how their midfield's going to do this year. Don't know how their midfield's going to do.
I think they have a lot of depth, but they don't have a lot of killer instinct in that front 3.
Yeah.
I feel like...
No, they're, I think Dembele, a little overhyped. He has the skills, he doesn't use them all the time.
And his injury history is horrifying.
Yep.
He's always hurt, always misses a couple months at a time. And then he goes partying a lot. I feel like he's just a bad influence in the locker room for the young guys.
Yeah, and, he's a young guy himself, too, at only 23.
Yeah. But if I'm like the Barcelona manager, I do not let Fati get anywhere near Dembele.
Yeah, no, I don't want them to be friends at all. Not at all. He doesn't even have 20 goals for Barcelona yet in his career for him, so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For the fee they paid for him, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that is embarrassing for a player of Dembele's quality. Or not, I wouldn't say quality, but potential quality.
Yeah. He should be a stud. He has the left foot, the right foot, the pace, the skills, the tricks, the finishing ability. It's just a mental thing with him, I think. And also a mental thing and also an injury thing.
Yeah, but this club paid $150 million for a player to come in, play 74 games, get 19 goals, and only 17 assists.
Yeah.
$150 million for those kind of stats.
That's horrible.
Not at all worth it. Not at all worth it.
I think that also comes back to Messi's point about no future. They're wasting money on players who haven't been turning out.
Yeah.
They need to fix their recruitment system.
Mm-hmm. They just haven't made the right choices that they should. At all.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It goes to show how poorly ran they are.
Do you think this signals the Real Madrid dominance in La Liga?
I don't know if I go that far yet, but I definitely think they're above Barcelona by a good bit. I feel like if Barcelona wants to keep up with them, they're going to have a good next window. If not, finish this window off good. But probably, if that doesn't happen, I see Real Madrid probably running away over the next 2-3 seasons.
I can see that too. I feel like that'll piss Messi off even more. It's gonna be a
And
sloppy
then,
ending no matter what happens. Honestly, I don't
oh
see
yeah,
any way to
yeah,
fix it.
it's gonna get dirty because all these hardcore Messi fans, that are in Barcelona, that would do anything to keep Messi. That would do anything for Messi. That would literally sell a liver to keep Messi
Yeah,
at their club, which I know a lot of them would. You know who I'm talking about.
Abraham.
Jeez. Shade.
Messi's an
Uh,
icon though, so if I was a Barca fan, I would do the same thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I would feel so betrayed as a Barca fan right now. Honestly, it's such a messy situation, but
Yeah, the player you've looked up to for however many years you've been watching Barcelona play, and especially growing up in Spain, I can't believe what they're going through right now. Crazy scenes, man. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. Uh, you can go back and watch our last one. We went over and we graded transfers, and then we had a longer one on the weekend. And we should have another one up by Monday or Sunday, another long one where we're gonna go over the international games,
dude,
go
we
over
got
the
the
call
Nations League,
ups.
groups A and B, some good games.
Yeah, we got all that coming up for you. We're gonna go over the people called up, who should have been called up, and who should not have been called up. That should be interesting. And then we got the Premier League starting up soon, so we're gonna get into some fantasy soccer, some standings, some what we think the league's gonna end off on, how we think the cups are gonna go, who's gonna have a breakout season in the EPL this year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll have another video out this weekend, a long one, and stay safe, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace.